Rakeyan Warukujang was born in the early 10th century CE, during a time when the Sunda kingdom was in a transitional phase between its traditional agrarian society and a more centralized, fortified kingdom. His birth took place in a royal compound nestled in the misty uplands of Sunda, a region known for its sacred forests and crystal-clear rivers. His arrival was seen as auspicious by the royal astrologers who noted the alignment of powerful stars, predicting that he would be a protector of the Highlands and a sword against chaos. The name Rakeyan Warukujang was carefully chosen by the court priests and his family elders. Rakeyan denoted his noble, princely status, a title reserved for direct descendants of the king. Warukujang likely combines waru, a hardy tree known for its strength and resilience, and kujang, a traditional, sacred blade symbolic of Sundanese power and spiritual authority. Thus, his name symbolized a protector as strong as the waru tree and as sharp and sacred as the kujang blade, embodying both natural resilience and martial prowess. His lineage was illustrious. Rakeyan Warukujang descended from both the ancient Galuh kings and the prominent rulers of Sunda, his father a wise regional king, and his mother a princess of sacred blood, ensured that their son was raised with a deep understanding of both political strategy and spiritual responsibility. From early childhood, Warukujang was educated by the best scholars, warriors, and priests of the kingdom, mastering philosophy, warfare, and the ancient traditions of Sunda. During his youth, Warukujang exhibited a profound affinity with nature and the mystical elements of the land. He was often found in the secluded forests, communicating with spiritual guardians, according to the priests who mentored him. His deep spirituality combined with physical training molded him into an exceptional warrior prince, one destined to be not only a ruler, but also a spiritual beacon for his people. These early experiences forged Rakeyan Warukujang's character, resilient, spiritually aware, and protective. Unlike many heirs who focused solely on martial conquest, he envisioned leadership as a sacred trust to harmonize humanity, nature, and the divine. This vision would define his later reign. Rakeyan Warukujang came to power following the abdication of his aging uncle, a peaceful king who recognized in Warukujang a spirit capable of protecting and revitalizing the kingdom. His coronation was held in the sacred plains near Mount Galunggung, symbolizing his role as the bridge between earth and heaven. As a ruler, Warukujang quickly distinguished himself with a governing style that blended stern military discipline with compassionate care for his people. He was deeply committed to justice, often personally presiding over court cases, ensuring that the poor were not oppressed by the wealthy. His policies emphasized the protection of the natural world. Forests were considered sacred, rivers were carefully maintained, and animals in royal preserves were protected from overhunting. Rakeyan Warukujang reorganized the kingdom into smaller provinces led by trusted nobles, making the governance more effective without losing central authority. He built fortified hilltop citadels that provided security against raids while symbolizing the kingdom's dominance over both nature and invaders. Under his rule, agriculture flourished as irrigation systems were expanded, and trade routes linking Sunda to other parts of Java and Sumatra grew busier. One of his greatest achievements was the forging of alliances through marriage. Rakeyan Warukujang strategically married a princess from the eastern highlands and arranged alliances with various noble houses, strengthening Sunda's political fabric. His reign brought stability, prosperity, and a cultural renaissance where art, music, and spiritual traditions blossomed across the kingdom. Despite his success, Warukujang remained humble. He often visited temples and participated in ascetic rituals to honor the ancestors and maintain the sacred balance. His reign was remembered not only for political achievements, but for the deep spiritual rejuvenation that enveloped Sunda. During Warukujang's reign, several significant events tested his leadership. One of the earliest challenges came from a rebellion led by a coalition of discontented provincial lords who resented his strict reforms on land use and taxes. Warukujang personally led his forces against the rebels, defeating them in a decisive battle near the Sipamali River. His victory established him as a warrior king with both divine favor and unmatched tactical skill. Another crucial event was the Great Plague that swept across parts of Java. Warukujang's response was swift and compassionate. He ordered the establishment of healing centers, where both royal physicians and village shamans worked together. His efforts to contain and heal the populace elevated his reputation further as a king, deeply attuned to the needs of his people. Rakeyan Warukujang was also known for his spiritual powers. Legends claim that he mastered the art of tapa, ascetic meditation, to such a degree that he could communicate with spirits of the mountains and forests. He was believed to wield weather magic, able to summon rains during droughts and clear storms that threatened harvests. Whether these tales were literal or symbolic, they reflected the people's view of Warukujang as a king deeply connected to the cosmic forces of Sunda. Among his sacred heirlooms was the Kujang Gumarang, a mythical blade said to be forged by divine blacksmiths. The Kujang symbolized his authority and was believed to possess the power to protect the kingdom against both physical and spiritual threats. It became the emblem of his reign, appearing in carvings, banners, and even battle standards. By the height of his power, Warukujang had transformed Sunda into a kingdom revered for its harmony between humanity, nature, and the divine. His court was a beacon of culture with poets, musicians, and artisans flourishing under royal patronage. As he aged, Rakeyan Warukujang began to retreat gradually from active governance. Recognizing the impermanence of power, he prepared a successor carefully, his eldest son, Rakeyan Jayamadal, who had been trained in governance, spirituality, and warfare from a young age. In a grand ceremony at the Temple of the Sacred Peaks, Warukujang officially abdicated the throne, entrusting the future of Sunda to his son while he himself sought a life of contemplation. After his abdication, Warukujang lived a semi-hermitic life in a secluded monastery near Mount Tangkuban Parahu. There, he dedicated his remaining years to meditation, prayer, and the preservation of ancient wisdom. Despite his retirement, people from across Sunda still sought his guidance, considering him a living sage. Warukujang's death came peacefully after decades of retreat and spiritual practice. According to legend, his spirit was seen ascending in the form of a great white eagle, a symbol of liberation and unity with the cosmos. His funeral was marked by rituals that celebrated both his life as a king and his transcendence as a spiritual master. He was buried in a sacred grove, which became a pilgrimage site for generations. Over time, the location transformed into a shrine where offerings were made by kings, warriors, and common folk alike seeking protection and blessings. Rakeyan Warukujang's death did not mark the end of his influence. His teachings, laws, and vision continued to shape the Sundanese consciousness for centuries, creating a spiritual and political legacy that far outlived his mortal body. The memory of Rakeyan Warukujang persists in various parts of West Java. Several ancient sites, such as sacred forests near Mount Galunggung and meditation caves near Tangkuban Parahu, are associated with his life and spiritual retreat. These locations are often visited by pilgrims who seek blessings for strength, wisdom, and protection. His name is invoked in local legends, folk songs, and traditional ceremonies. In some villages, especially those in the Highlands, Warukujang is revered as a guardian spirit of the land, protecting harvests and maintaining the balance between humans and nature. Modern scholars have traced old stone inscriptions and oral traditions that mention a noble protector king, whose description matches Rakeyan Warukujang. These studies contribute to a growing recognition of his impact, not only as a ruler, but as a key figure in shaping the ethical and environmental consciousness of the Sundanese people. Statues depicting a king wielding a kujang blade can be found in some cultural centers, symbolizing Warukujang's enduring spirit. Annual ceremonies are still held in his honor during specific months, involving offerings of flowers, traditional dances, and storytelling sessions that pass his legacy from one generation to the next. In the broader cultural imagination of Sundanese identity, Rakeyan Warukujang stands as a symbol of resilient leadership, spiritual enlightenment, and harmonious coexistence, a true reflection of his sacred name and timeless vision.